What's up, guys? This is Far From Blake, and today we are going to be getting into my Halloween ranking. I'm going to preface a couple things before we start. One, it is just my opinion. We all have different opinions on this franchise. It's a very controversial, opinionated franchise where lots of us have different takes. Hear me out. The other thing is, if you haven't seen all the movies, spoiler warning, first and foremost only. If there's a certain movie you haven't seen, skip over that section, and you've been warned. Coming in at number 13, we have Halloween Ends. Yes, Halloween Ends is the worst in the franchise for me. I absolutely hate this movie. It is by far the worst in the franchise. It is the movie that disrespects Michael Myers by far more than every other movie in the franchise. Other people like to think that Resurrection disrespects Michael Myers. Not like Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends, they set him up so great in 2018 and Kills to be possibly the best version of the character we have yet to see. And they completely butcher our boy in that final movie, make him a weak, old man who just gets bodied by this random character named Corey that we were just introduced to for the very first time. And just completely punks him, takes his mask off his face and says, "You're just a man, you're nobody." That's ridiculous. I hate this movie with every fiber of my being. I don't understand how it has a cult following. If you are a massive Michael Myers fan, this movie should offend you, in my opinion. I have lots of famous YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, that I look up to, big fans of, that love this movie. I do not get it. I will never be one of them. I hate this movie. Okay, coming in at number 12, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. Yes, the first Rob Zombie movie is my number 12, below the second Rob Zombie. This movie has nothing going for it for me, really. It's a rehash of the original in the final act, which is probably the best version of the movie. And then the beginning of the movie is basically giving a backstory on Michael Myers, giving us his upbringing, which is something you do not want to do with Michael. And if you're going to do it, you shouldn't make it about a kid who was bullied, who has a rough home life, and all that stuff. They added sympathy for the character to where now you don't really believe him as the embodiment of evil, but just a kid that had a hard life who got very rageful and angry over that and took it out on people. Coming in at number 11, we have Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Yes, this is a very controversial opinion, probably the most controversial as of right now. This has a massive cult following. That's something you're going to hear me say a lot in this franchise. A lot of these movies have massive cult followings, which makes Halloween a very fun franchise to discuss and debate over, because there's so many movies in this franchise that maybe not everyone loves, but the people that love it really love it. This is one of those movies. Some people put this in their top 1, 2, and 3. Some people have it literally as their favorite of the franchise. Clearly, I am not one of them. No, it is not solely because Michael Myers is not in this movie. That used to be a reason that I didn't watch this movie. It's not a movie I've seen before until like 5 years ago because it didn't have Michael. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, okay, this is whatever. I rewatched it recently, trying to give it a fair chance because I hear so many people swear by this movie, and it's okay. I like it. It's fine. It's nothing special to me. I think people overhype this movie and make it out to be like it's John Carpenter's The Thing or something. Like it's some sort of great masterpiece that if it wasn't attached to the Halloween franchise, it'd be one of the greatest horrors ever. No, it's not. It's not that good. It's okay. The ideas there are better than the execution. That's how I look at it. I think the ideas are better than the execution. And I like Michael Myers. I'm here for this franchise for Michael Myers, so it is at a disadvantage in the ranking because of that. Coming in at number 10, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I just rewatched this movie a couple days ago, and I gotta say, I'm starting to like this movie. It's a movie when it came out, I absolutely hated it, kind of like Halloween Ends. And it was a movie where I'm like, this is ridiculous. What is this? What is this white horse? What is going on? I didn't get it. This has a massive cult following. There's people that really swear by this movie and put it towards the very tippy top. I'm not ready to go that far, but I always found it interesting that so many people that I like this movie and swear by it. And I used to like the original Rob Zombie more. But Last year, I rewatched it. I went on a giant live stream with this guy named Wrestling with Horror, where we talk about both Rob Zombie movies for 4.5 hours. And I did start to slightly like it more than the first movie. But then rewatching it this time for this video, I said, you know what? I'm starting to see the artistic merit behind this movie. There's still atrocious Rob Zombie dialogue, and that's the part that really holds back this movie for me. But I like that this movie goes over the psychological damage and psychosis of Laurie Strode and the aftermath of the trauma that she went through, the events of Halloween 1. Coming in at number 9, we have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Halloween 5 is my number 9 in the franchise. This is a movie I have massive nostalgia for. I grew up watching Halloween 1, 4, 5, and Resurrection the most from a very young age. At 3 years old, I started watching these movies. This is one of the movies that I remember watching the most as a kid, was Halloween 4 and 5. I love the Jamie Lloyd story. I couldn't remember which one was which. As a little kid, it's hard to remember things. The barn scene is great. It's so good that I always thought it was in Halloween 4 because I like Halloween 4 more. And then I find out, oh wait, it's not in that one. It's only in Halloween 5. But the rest of Halloween 5 is not as good as 4. There are massive flaws with this movie, though. The Mask is one of the worst in the franchise. I have a Mask tier list ranking. You can go check that out. It's towards the very bottom, though. Spoiler alert for that. This movie has one of the worst masks. It also completely destroys the character of Rachel, which was one of the best characters in the franchise in Halloween 4. It also technically destroys Jamie as well because you made her mute and she couldn't speak half the movie. So when you kill off Rachel and you don't have Jamie able to speak half the movie, you're left with a random girl named Tina who we're supposed to follow along. And some people absolutely hate Tina. I don't hate her. I always kind of liked her, but she's no Rachel, she's no Jamie, so it's still a massive downgrade. Dr. Loomis is also his craziest in this movie. That has been reported that he was possibly drunk half the time on set, which is kind of hilarious and kind of makes you enjoy it for what it is more. But he does have arguably his best line in the entire franchise, one of at least. It's where he's talking to Sheriff Meeker and he says, "I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him." So even in Dr. Loomis's most crazy performance, he still has one of the best lines in the franchise in this movie. And the last flaw, most of all, that has brought this movie down drastically for me over the years is that it is incredibly boring through lots of portions of this movie. And that is something that is obviously going to weigh it down over time. Okay, coming in at number 8, we have Halloween 2. Yes, Halloween 2. The original Halloween 2 is my number 8 in the Halloween franchise. This is probably the biggest hot take I have thus far, right? A lot of people put it towards the tippy top. I understand it. My opinion on these movies are they change drastically, constantly, all the time. My number 2 through 8 have cycled so many times over the last few years. Heck, even Halloween 5 at number 9 has been much higher in the past. Halloween 2 has been as high as number 2 in the franchise for me, just a few years ago. So, I love this movie. Let's make that clear. I do love this movie. I love all of these movies. So, now here on up, every movie I like. The reason why Halloween 2 is lower is that, yes, it has some of the best and most iconic moments. I love the mask. I love the blood running down his... The reason why I have Halloween 2 this low is that it is incredibly boring in the middle portion of the movie. Yes, it has some iconic moments, some great kills. The hot tub kill in the middle of the movie is great for 2 reasons, right? But also, it's just boring in that middle portion. Like, nothing happens. It's not like there's actual tension being built like the first movie. It's just nothing is going on. The beginning 15-20 minutes of the movie are iconic. They're great. And the last 20 minutes are great. Laurie Strode spends most of the movie in her bed doing nothing. Comatose. And while that's going on, basically nothing is happening. And even though there are great iconic moments, I want to put this movie higher because of the nostalgic factor and because of the atmosphere and how iconic it is. But I can't lie but say it's a movie that You can literally fall asleep through the middle of the movie and then wake up at the end of the movie and go, oh, it's on, Halloween 2's on, I'll watch this, right? It's not a movie to where you can sit through and rewatch constantly without getting kind of bored, kind of tired, and kind of sleepy. It's the perfect Halloween movie to fall asleep to because you can fall asleep in the middle of the movie and you won't really miss anything. And it's set at night the entire time, so it's great for darkness in the background if you're trying to sleep. Coming in at number 7, we have Halloween Resurrection. Okay, even more of a controversial opinion. You guys are lucky I don't even rate this higher. I have always liked Halloween Resurrection. It's the first Halloween movie that I saw in theaters. I know, it is at the very bottom of pretty much every person's ranking. There's so many cult followings in the Halloween franchise. For some reason, Resurrection seems to be the unanimous one that is always put at the bottom of every ranking. I said earlier that I think what they do to Michael and Halloween Ends is way more disrespectful than what they do in Resurrection. I like Busta Rhymes. I think he's hilarious. I think the Kung Fu stuff is funny. I'm not offended by it. I think it sets well with the tone of the movie. Now, granted, I might have a nostalgic bias. I saw this movie in theaters when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I get it. But this movie is kind of inventive that it was streaming before streaming. It was streaming the life inside Michael Myers' house, and Michael's out to get people. I think everything they do with Busta Rhymes is funny. I don't take it that serious. I really don't. I get it. He puts on the mask and then he punks Michael Myers and he's poking him, whatever. I looked at it as Michael just being in shock, going, who is this guy? What is going on? Nobody's ever talked to me like this. And he's just bewildered. He's like, this guy's an idiot. And Busta Rhymes is basically telling him, oh, go after Tyra Banks' character in the shacks. Michael's like, okay, I'll go kill your girlfriend or your coworker or whoever you are. And I'll deal with you later, buddy. I'm not worried about you. I think Michael is pretty solid in this movie. I like the characters. I think it's a fun, just 2000s slasher. It's set in American Pie type times. You have American Pie actor in this movie even. If you want more of my thoughts on Halloween Resurrection, I have a couple videos where I go more in depth of it there. But I like this movie, and the reason why I put it above Halloween 2, which I know is crazy, and it's something I was kind of afraid to do in the past, but I can't be afraid to hear what y'all say. At the end of the day, Halloween Resurrection is a more fun and entertaining movie than Halloween 2. Is it better? Probably not, but it's more rewatchable and more entertaining. So for today, I'm putting it above. I might regret it, but I don't care. I am a Halloween Resurrection defender for life. There are so many cult followings in the Halloween franchise. Halloween Resurrection seems to be the one that doesn't have that. So if you are a Halloween Resurrection defender like me, let's get the cult following going for Resurrection. I'm tired of seeing people put it at 13, 12, 11, not even in the top 10. I'm having it at number 7. I like Resurrection. I don't care. It's my opinion. Coming in at number 6, we have Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is my number 6 in the franchise. I feel really bad that I'm putting Halloween Kills this low. It is a movie when it came out I was such a defender for. I had it as high as number 3 in the franchise. All these movies from 2 through 9 have shuffled back and forth all over the place. I told you, Halloween 2 was as high as number 2 before for me. Now it's at 8. Halloween Kills was number 3 for every year up until last year. It dropped down to number 4, and now it has dropped from 4 to 6. And I still love this movie. I love the flashback. I love the kills. I love the score. I think it's one of the most metal, rock and roll, amped up version of the Halloween theme. I love it, and it fits so well with this movie. Evil Dies Tonight, I always thought it was kind of funny. Could they've toned it down a bit? Sure. But my main issue with the movie is that the hospital scene goes for way too long, and it makes zero sense. They are all going chaotic and crazy, believing a guy, that other mental hospital patient, to be Michael Myers, who looks like Danny DeVito's Penguin. How do you, how? How does that look like Michael Myers? How could you be tricked by that? It makes zero sense, and that scene goes on for way, way too long, and it's like, I want to go back to Haddonfield where Michael was hunting everyone down. I don't want to be spending this time in the hospital where everyone's screaming, going nuts, and being mistaken for this guy that clearly doesn't look like Michael Myers to be Michael Myers. I am someone that rewatchability is a huge factor in my rankings and my liking of a movie. And if there's a portion like that that is so unrewatchable that I just literally want to fast forward every time I watch it just to get to the good stuff, that's a problem. And that's something I sadly have to say that it holds this movie back. I still think the pros outweigh the cons. I still love this movie for all the greatness that it has, but that is a huge portion that I absolutely hate. And I think one thing that would have made that scene so much better is that imagine if instead of that guy, they had, and this would be a great Easter egg for fans, and it would have made way more sense. You had Nick Castle be the fake Michael Myers in this movie. Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers from Halloween 1 that we've been paying homage to in this trilogy. Imagine he was the one that they all mistaken. It would make a lot of sense because he actually was Michael Myers before. Be a nice little Easter egg, very meta for us fans. And it would be believable. They're around the same age, similar stature. Obviously, he was Michael Myers. And I think if you did that and made the scene like 5 minutes shorter, all of a sudden, I think people have way less of an issue of that scene. It's just how ridiculous that this guy clearly doesn't look like Michael Myers. And it goes on for way too long. You change that, make it Nick Castle, make the scene shorter. All of a sudden, most of the problems from Halloween Kills, in my opinion, evaporate. Coming in at number 5, we have Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween 6 is my number 5 in the franchise, and I'm talking about the theatrical cut. I thought about including the producer's cut as its own separate thing in the ranking, but I have not seen the producer's cut enough to give a solidified opinion on that. Maybe in the future I will. The theatrical cut is clearly better than the producer's cut, for me though, I would say, because it sets Michael Myers up to be more of a force in this movie. In the theatrical cut, the kills are more brutal, the way he's shot, the way he's lit is much better in the theatrical cut. It's not just all the crazy cult stuff at the very end with the producer's cut. Obviously, that's worse as well. But just the way Michael is in this movie in the theatrical cut, the reason why I like Halloween 6 so much is because of that. Halloween 6 has one of the best atmospheres in the franchise. It feels one of the most Halloween, October-y, just spooky fall season vibes. I would say the only one that rivals Halloween 6 is Halloween 4 as what's the best in the franchise for atmosphere. So I love that. I love the mask of Michael Myers in this movie. It's one of my favorite masks in the franchise, and it's one of the best Michael Myers performances. I love Paul Rudd. It's not something that I really liked his character originally when I first saw this movie. This is not a movie that I grew up on compared to the other movies in the franchise. I didn't like it growing up. It's one that has grown on me over time. I even want to put it higher. I really want to put it at number 4. There's a big part of me that wants to put it at number 4. I'm not there yet. I'm probably more obsessed and love to hype this movie up more than my ranking allows me to. There's a massive cult following for this movie, and I am a part of it now. I wasn't always, but something about this movie is just special. I love Paul Rudd as an actor, so even though I didn't like his Tommy Doyle originally, I love Paul Rudd so much that eventually all the charm of this movie has grown on me more and more. It's very metal, heavy metal, rock and roll, Halloween, brutal Michael Myers, and just has such a fun and great October Halloween atmosphere. Coming in at number 4, we have Halloween 2018, or Halloween 40 years later. This is a movie that I actually, when it came out, I loved it. Then a couple years later happened, I don't know what happened, but I became a massive hater of this movie. I was such a defender of Halloween Kills. I said Kills is so much more exciting than 2018. I said 2018 was too superficial. It felt too corporate. It felt too safe. And I think that's some people's opinion on this movie. But Halloween Ends was so bad, so atrocious, and swung too far in the other direction that it made my love for 2018 kind of grow back. Because it made me realize that 2018 did everything basically right. That Halloween Ends just didn't. It made me appreciate how good Michael Myers is in 2018. It's arguably the best performance. It's arguably the best mask. It has a solid Halloween atmosphere. Yes, does it go through some of the greatest hits? Does it have similar tones to the original or H2O? Pays homage to Halloween 5 and all that type of stuff with the cops and the car and all that stuff? Sure, but that's kind of what I love about it. I think it's a movie you can trust and know it's going to deliver a solid product, and you're going to get one of the best Myers every time you watch it. And as crazy and outlandish most of this franchise goes, it's something I draw back to. I'm like, you know what? I was too hard on 2018. It's really, really good. My biggest flaws of the movie was always I didn't like that they got rid of the brother sister angle. I am a big proponent of the brother sister storyline. I didn't like that they got rid of Halloween 2. I didn't like that Laurie Strode was so crazy after 40 years after the events of the original without the brother sister ties and without the events of Halloween 2. If you include Halloween 2, sure, if you want to get rid of the brother sister line, fine. It was a throwaway line in Halloween 2. You should have kept the events of Halloween 2 because Michael killed way more people in Halloween 2. It would make a lot more sense for 2018 and Kills. The fear that Haddonfield has for Michael being out on the loose based off the events of Halloween 1 and 2. Getting rid of Halloween 2 of the timeline is the thing that makes Laurie Strode's performance in 2018 a little over the top. But we do get a really fun and cool showdown in the end, and over time, I'm starting to care less and less about that. But it is the thing that stopped this movie from essentially being perfect, is that you should have included the events of Halloween 2, because Laurie Strode being that crazy after 40 years, being bunkered down in Haddonfield, training for this guy that's in jail for 40 years, thinking he's going to come out, even though he did. It's like, it wouldn't make logical sense for someone to think that, in my opinion. I think what they do in Halloween H2O with Laurie Strode makes a lot more sense. Coming in at number 3, we have Halloween 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween, the original. Yes, the original is number 3. And this is where a lot of people are going to click off. Wait, don't go. Hear me out. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I love this franchise. Most of my favorite horror movies of all time are Michael Myers movies, are Jason, are Freddy, are Ghostface. Those are basically my favorite horror movies of all time. Those characters and their franchises. Halloween is still a 5-star movie for me. The reason why it's not higher is I don't have much negatives for it. It's just there's certain reasons I will get into when I reveal the next two of why it's lower to my number 3. It was number 2 for the past 2 years, I would say. It just dropped to number 3 recently. I didn't enjoy it on rewatch as much as I did the movie that I'm going to put at number 2. And I'll explain why in that next movie. But this movie is the movie that started it all. Dr. Loomis is great. The score is great. The Blackest Eyes, the Devil's Eyes. I have nothing really bad to say about this movie. Yes, there could be a couple more kills in the middle, right? But it's still such a classic. I do love this movie. I'm not going to say all this massive negatives to prove why it's number 3 for me. I love the 3 movies that I have in this franchise so much. They're 3 of my favorites of all time. I think all 3 of them might be in my top 10 horror movies of all time. So take that what you will and hear me out on my number 2. Coming in at number 2, we have Halloween H2O. Halloween H2O is my number 2 in the franchise. I had it at number 3 recently. I decided to put it above Halloween the original because it's just a movie that I rewatch more. It's a movie that I rewatch constantly throughout the year. It's a movie that feels like a comfort movie for me. I love all the characters. I think that Laurie Strode is by far the best in this movie compared to any other movie in the franchise. Her story makes way more sense in this movie than it does in Halloween 2018. Moving away, trying to escape Michael after 20 years, with Michael being on the loose, not knowing where he's at, and the events of Halloween 2, and the brother-sister angle, knowing that she will be hunted down by him one day if he finds her, makes way more sense. She's dealing with PTSD, all these things. I love what they do with the character. I love the setting. Some people hate it because they're saying it feels too much like Scream. Well, guess what? Scream is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I love that franchise. So I do not care. Do I want every movie in the franchise to feel like this? No. But for this movie, it works, and I like it. The opening shot with the pumpkin and the Sandman playing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character and all that stuff, I thought that had a really good Halloween setting. Had the best mask in the movie. Yes, in the movie. This movie has 4 different masks. That's the biggest flaw of the movie, and it's one of the reasons why I almost don't want to put it above the original for that reason alone. But if you move past that, it's such a good story. I think the pacing's really good. It's the shortest length Michael Myers Halloween movie as well, so it breezes right by. Yes, like the original, probably should have an extra kill somewhere in the middle. It does do a couple off-screen kills throughout the movie, which is, no fun, but something about this movie just feels like it's just a comfort movie. I love all the actors. I love all the characters. It's just a lot of fun. And it's a movie that I can just throw on in the background any given time. And rewatchability is a big factor for me. So, yes, the original is great. It's a masterpiece. And I could easily change my mind next week and put the original above Halloween H2O. But I'm not going to be afraid to say my opinion because it's against the grain. I get it. Halloween 1978 is perfect. But I like H2O a lot. I think the only reason that holds it back to be in that conversation is The Mask. But coming in at number 1, we have Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This was always my number 1. It was never not going to be my number 1. It's been my favorite Halloween movie my entire life. I have massive, massive nostalgia for this movie. I love Rachel. I love Jamie. I think Dr. Loomis is possibly his best in this movie. It's close with the original. I think Rachel and Jamie are both better than Laurie Strode. Sorry, hot take. By far, especially when you look at just the original and Halloween 1 and 2, Rachel and Jamie are just way more compelling and interesting characters to me. Halloween 4 probably has the best atmosphere in the entire franchise. I talk about Halloween 6 being one of the best atmospheres in the franchise. The only movie that's probably better is Halloween 4. And it starts off so strong in that opening credit scenes of the farm, of the area, with the credits rolling. It sets the tone early that this is a Halloween movie. And I wish every movie in the franchise felt this way. I said H2O does it, and I have it that high. This is the movie that sets the tone for the spooky season for me. This is the movie that says, hey, it's October 1st now. I want to feel like I'm in October. I'm in fall. I'm in the spooky season era, right? You put this on, those opening credits, it sets you up perfectly to say, wow, it's October, it's Halloween, it's trick-or-treating time, right? It's one of the few Halloween movies that involves trick-or-treating, and you see it throughout the movie. The atmosphere is great. Michael is a force in this movie. Just from his opening kill with the thumb through the paramedic's head used to freak me out as a kid. One of the most brutal and violent kills in this movie. This movie has some of the most brutal kills in the entire franchise, or some of the best kills, right? I mentioned the thumb in the paramedic's head. You have the shotgun through Kelly, Sheriff Meeker's daughter, right? You have the Brady kill, which was just very emotional and also violent, right? He was a character that you set up to be kind of the bad boyfriend or whatever, and he gets redeemed, and you care for him when he's trying to sacrifice himself for Rachel and Jamie. You have the kill with Earl, which I saw in 4K for the first time over a week ago, where he rips, his neck or his face off him. It looks so crazy. The practical effects in 4K are surreal. I love all the characters in this movie. Every character is important. Every character has a role. There's no wasted space. This movie just goes. It's an adrenaline rush through and through the entire movie. Dr. Loomis is on the prowl, hunting after Michael. Sheriff Meeker is the best sheriff in the franchise. He's better than Brackett because he hears Michael is a threat. He knows Michael is coming, and he doesn't waste his time. He's after to get Michael Myers. Jamie, the reason why she is so special to me is that when I watched this movie as a little kid, I watched this movie from 3 years old on. When I saw Michael going after a 9-year-old little girl, it made me feel like Michael would go after me too. It's the movie that made me go, he doesn't go after just the teenagers, the high schoolers, the adults, right? He goes after the little kids as well. And when I was a little kid, that made me terrified because I'm like, Michael can come after me too. And the scene where Michael's hiding under the bed and she's afraid, he comes out the closet, he comes here, he goes there. Terrified. Because when you're a little kid and you're afraid to go out to the bathroom or go to the kitchen to get a glass of water in the middle of the night, I used to be afraid that Michael Myers was waiting for me around the corner. He's in the closet. He's in the bathroom. I'm checking behind the curtain. Michael could be anywhere, and it's because of this movie. This movie sets Michael up to be the boogeyman so much so that he could literally be anywhere. In the final act, he's in the house. All the people are bunkered down. He's in the house, and nobody realizes it. Nobody has any idea where he is. We know he's there from the audience, but they have no clue. Most people, as a kid, might have been afraid of a monster or a ghost or something like that walking out to their kitchen at night. I was afraid of Michael Myers, and it's because of how they set him up in this movie. Yes, people have problems with the mask in this movie. Me, I never really saw it as a kid. It still terrified me. I still thought Michael was Michael Myers. As an adult, when I see, YouTube reviews and stuff like that, I now can notice, like, oh yeah, the mask is a little flawed, but I still have nostalgia for this movie. I think this is the only flaw you can really point to the movie. To me, the only reason why this isn't in the conversation with the original to most people is the mask. If you had a better mask, if you put Halloween 6 mask on Halloween 4, boom. Who knows, right? I say those two because it's played by the same actor in those two movies, right? If Michael had a better mask in this movie, without a doubt to me, it would be way better than the original. I think the only thing that holds it back from being better than the original is the mask, because I think the tension is there, the story is there, the atmosphere is there, the characters, the kills, all those things I just mentioned are basically better than the original. The tension is very close to the original, the kills are definitely better than the original, the atmosphere is better than the original. I like this movie a lot. Rachel is a better final girl, Jamie's a better final girl. They're more relatable characters. I will go more in depth, if you would like me to, in a separate video. But I love this movie. It deserves to be at least in the conversation as the best in the franchise. I'm tired of people saying it's Halloween the original and everything else is a fight for second place. No. Halloween 4 is clearly in the conversation for me. H2O, if you want to say it's a hot take, sure, that's fine. I had Halloween the original above H2O recently, and I could flip it. But there's no convincing me that Halloween the original is better than Halloween 4. And if you like Halloween the original more than Halloween 4, I don't blame you, right? I want to make that clear. I don't blame you. Halloween the original is great. But Halloween 4 deserves to be in the conversation. That is my main point. It shouldn't be such a wide margin, because to me, Halloween 4 is that good. Alright, I'm going to end my ranking there. Leave a comment down below. What is your ranking of the Halloween franchise? If you don't want to list all of them, list your top 3 and maybe your bottom 3, right? Remember, these are just my opinions. I get it. If you like the original the best, I understand. Most people do. It's a hot take of mine. But I love Halloween 4. I love H2O. I love a lot of these movies in the franchise. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on Halloween 4, I just did a live stream with Wrestling with Horror where we talk about Halloween 4 and a lot of the Halloween movies for over an hour and a half, so you'll get more of my thoughts there. He's also a massive Halloween 4 fan, so if you're a Halloween 4 fan and defender, fun stream to check it out. I put it on my posts or community tab. Definitely go check that out. Subscribe for more Halloween content. If you haven't seen my other videos, I have a Halloween timeline ranking and I have a Halloween mass tier list ranking. So definitely go check that out if you want to see more Michael Myers content. And if you're in the Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, all that type of stuff will be on this channel. If I haven't already yet, I'm going to make plenty of videos soon. If you like superheroes as well, I'm going to be doing a lot of that as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.